So today we are launching a next generation smart calculator. We are launching a billing machine and we are launching a powerful sound confirmation machine, as well as we are launching a point of sale terminal for the shopkeepers. But before we get into this detail, we would like to talk about the customer that we are serving. So Satyam will come and he'll explain the about the customer. Okay.
Yeah, so let's take an example of Kamlesh ji. Kamlesh ji is having his shop from 20 years in Mumbai, and until 2016 there was only one mode of payment, which is cash. With the cash, it's very easy to handle the sales and expenses. Whatever he has to give the money to the vendors, it's in cash, and whatever the money he has to take from the customer, it's in cash. But there is always a but, and after 2016, UPI is introduced. After UPI is introduced, there are three QR codes on the desk or on the counter of Kamlesh Ji shop. So now he has three QR codes with three bank accounts. Now it's very difficult for Kamlesh Ji to manage from where the money is coming. It is coming from cash, one QR code, second QR code, and the third QR code. Okay. Now, the problem is whenever he opens the drawer, it's very not handy for him to count the cash that how much his shop has made. For that, three solutions he has been provided. First, the traditional one, he will input the calculations into the traditional calculator and use the pen and paper and put the amount in the register. But when there are so many customers on the counter, he cannot do all the transactions or write everything on the paper. So if he misses any transaction, then the balance at the end of the day is missed out. Now, the second solution he has taken out is using the mobile app. So when he takes out the mobile app, there are several steps he has to do. He has to take up the mobile app, open it, enter the data, and then save it. But when the rush is there, the mobile app doesn't work because the phone can drop off. His Jugadu Kamlesh can send him a reel to say it, WhatsApp messages, and other things. The third solution was that billing machine. So when the billing machine was introduced, his Chotu is not able to operate it because in the billing machine you can only do bills. You cannot get the payment confirmation or anything else.
It's not just one person, not just Kamlesh from Mumbai, right? There are actually 30 million shopkeepers who have this issue, right? But guess what's common amongst all of them? A calculator. Like I said, right? Now we are trying to reimagine that. Over to Praveen to reimagine what we're going to make different in Kamlesh's life.
Well, the problem that Kamlesh is facing is not just problem of Kamlesh. There are around 30 million shops in India, and all of them have one thing in common: a calculator. Okay, for any sale that they are doing, they calculate. For any expense that they are doing, they calculate. And every time they are end of the day, they want to figure out how much money their shop is making. They're using a calculator. Okay, so we figured out. It's a fundamental device for every single shopkeeper. But current calculators are totally dumb. Okay, they don't do anything other than calculations. So first idea that we had was very simple. Okay, our idea was, why can't this calculator record their sales and expenses? So what we did is we added two new buttons, credit and debit, on the on a box on Raspberry Pi, and then we were like, okay, we'll record the data. We got 7 pre-orders, but at the same time, bunch of people were like, okay, why you're making a hardware? Why can't this be an app? Why not just like enable the shopkeepers to have billing machine and like put up a POS system or something like that. Okay, with the box we got this idea. Okay, this might work. Okay, and this was 2021. We were not very sure about it, so we were just iterating on it, and that's when we started with the MVP. This was our second prototype. This was just like a 3D printed prototype with a small screen. It looked like a calculator, but it never worked for like as a device. It was more of like a proto run for going to shops and getting the feedback. But once with version 2, we got convinced that this is something shopkeepers are looking for and something that they are like genuinely going to use. We went all in. And that's when we launched the version 3 in 2022 in September. And this was a product which kind of like we did not expect that much sales. We were like expecting, okay, we'll launch, we'll have 1,000 units and then we'll like move to a newer version. But yeah, we three went beyond our expectation. And it was very simple product, by the way. There's nothing complicated. It is like a calculator with two new buttons, cash in and cash out. Okay. Yeah. So this is the story of Kamlesh ji. who was our customer, and now he actually uses our device. And one of the influencers who might be here only today, he made a video about us.
मैं शॉप पे कुछ खरीदने ही गया था, तो जैसे ही भैया को पैसे दिए, भैया कुछ कैलकुलेटर पे करने लगे और मैं क्यूरियस हो गया कि भाई ये एक्चुअल में है क्या। तब पता चला ये कैलकुलेटर है कौन सा,
स्मार्ट कैलकुलेटर है।
तब मेरी क्यूरियोसिटी और बढ़ गई, तो पता चला ये है टू हैंड्स का स्मार्ट कैलकुलेटर, जहाँ पर सभी ट्रांजैक्शन आप रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हो।
50 रुपए का सेल होता है, तो आपने 50 रुपये डाला और कैश इन है तो या कैश आउट है तो कैश इन है ये, और उसके बाद आपने एंटर कर दिया। में ये ऐप में आपको आ जाता है कि कैश इन 50 रुपया हुआ है।
जैसे आपका एक्सपेंस होता है तो आप कैश आउट कर सकते हो जो भी अमाउंट लिख के, और ये सभी ट्रांजैक्शन आपको ऐप में मिल जाते हैं, तो आपको टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है कि आपके कितने गले में आए और कितने गले से गए। तो ये चीज काफी गेम चेंजर हो सकता है जब भी आपके पास बहुत कस्टमर है। इसकी कॉस्टिंग अभी 3000 रुपीज है, तो ये जिन दोस्तों को जरूरत पड़ सकती है तो उनको जरूर शेयर करना, और ऐसे कंटेंट के ब्रेन कप को जरूर फॉलो करना।
And also today, we are continuing the version 3, but we are scaling up. Like, we have improved the quality of the version 3 from the starting launch event to now. We have V3 Carbon, which is one of the best versions of V3 we have right now, which is also most affordable for the shopkeeper who are looking for a intricate device for recording their sales and expenses. That brings us to the main thing that we are launching today, the V4. Let's look at this point of view now, like 10 years down the line, how a calculator will look, how a device that is so fundamental for the shopkeepers will look. All the devices that we are using, like we started using mobile phones, okay, we started from telephone, now we are at a smartphone. We are using normal watches, now we are using a smart watch. In the past, normal watch, the use case was they used to tell time, okay, but now the use case changed to they tell you time, but they also help you keep track of your health, okay. Similarly, we believe calculators use case will change and evolve towards keeping track of the shopkeeper's finances completely. With V4, we are building a device that is very easy to use, affordable, and most advanced for any shopkeeper. So they don't need to have any other device. It can do their bookkeeping. They can record their sales and expense using or cash in, cash out buttons. They can also they can create bills. So basically, they can if you have multiple items at your shop, using our device, you can create bills, and it comes with a dynamic QR. So let's say you want to accept the payment in the end of the transaction. You can also accept the payment with the dynamic QR. So this actually, the reason it is very important for the shopkeepers is it helps them reduce the negotiation part of it. Okay. So let's say you go to a shop and shopkeeper asks you for making certain amount of payment. Okay. Now what happens is, as a customer, you are scanning the QR, you are typing the final amount. Shopkeeper does not have control, and customer negotiate at that time. Okay. Shopkeepers lose a lot of money because of this problem. Okay. With a dynamic QR, this solves the problem completely, and that's one of the reasons DMart does not have a static QR put there. Okay, why can't DMart, these big shops, you will never get a static QR because they want to make sure the customer is paying the exact amount that is on their bill. Similarly, this capacity will be enabled through Tohands Smart Calculator version 4 for all the millions of shopkeepers that are using our devices. Now, not just that, we also have audio confirmation on the device. We added a speaker on top of our device, which enables you to have a transaction confirmation right now, and in future we are going to build partnerships which will enable us to do audio payment confirmation as well. Further, the most important part of our device is all the transactions that are happening right now on the hardware. Okay, they seamlessly sync with our app using GSM. We have 4G enabled GSM, as well as we have Wi-Fi in the device that enables us to sync the data seamlessly from the device to the app. So now, let's say you are a shopkeeper and you are doing bunch of transaction, okay, but you leave your shop and you go to the basically your home. Now you want to see how much money your shop is making. You can still see that on your app. So with the V4, we are enabling the shopkeeper to have a dynamic QR, real-time analytics of their shop sales and expenses. We are enabling inventory management. We are syncing both from the device to the app. We're enabling them the complete sync of their inventory load. So they will know how much, let's say you have tea, coffee, and bunch of other items. You will know how much you sold end of the month. Okay. As well as you can connect the device to the printer. Okay. So this device also connects to the small, any kind of printer. It can be a cash drawer or a cash drawer enabled printer or normal 2-inch printer. It will connect and print the bill also. The thing is, when you're designing a hardware product, it's not easy. Honestly, I am not a designer. I am not a person who makes hardware, but I am I run this company, so I know how hard the whole process is. When you start to build something like which is hardware, you start from design. Okay. With V3 we realized this mistake. We did not invest much on with design. Okay. With V4, one of the fundamental things that we did right is design. So we started by looking at people that can design the best consumer product in India, okay, for these shopkeepers. And luckily we found Sushant. Sushant is one of the best industrial designer in the world. He's based out of New York, and he helped us design the V4. And he made a video for us to explain his process. Okay.
As a designer, my canvas is the world around us. I love crafting tools that make life simpler and more joyful. I'm Toshand Vora and I'm an industrial designer. Designing for India is a unique challenge because you're not only juggling between value and price, you also have to consider the exposure and the readiness to adopt modern technology. The Tohands Smart Calculator is more than a product. It's really a bridge between two worlds. It's intentionally traditional but uniquely modern. And you'll see that throughout the design of the device. We built everything from the ground up, starting from the internals to the chassis and even fine-tuning the placement of the buttons and the labels and the smallest of details. Real voices, real needs shaped every decision. It's the process of constant iteration and getting valuable feedback directly from customers that truly helped shape the design. I see both the process and the outcome as a real testament to the spirit of building in India.
With Sushant putting a lot of effort on designing, like we did like at least 4 to 5 iteration of the product to finalize this design. From designing like where to put the USB cords to designing how to manufacture it easily. We were like doing iterations on design for manufacturing as well as designing for the customer at the same time. Plus, Shanmugam bringing the edge for our devices. Okay, so
It's all about solving the problem of users with perfect components. Hi, I am Shanmugha Vadivel, co-founder of Tohands. First time in the world reimagining calculator display from black and white to color HD display, making user experience 10x better. First time putting a high performance and efficient chip on a calculator to handle multiple operations simultaneously. For example, user can do billing, printing, payment confirmation while syncing the data simultaneously. Putting a powerful speaker for loud and clear transaction confirmation in any shop environment. Enabling instant and seamless data sync with 4G connectivity. Putting all these components together to make the perfect product for our customers.
While we are doing bunch of features, like we are doing audio confirmation, we are doing billing, we are doing printing, we are doing like bookkeeping, we have 4G, we have audio, like we have bunch of things, and to enable all these things requires us to like have a very strong electronics. This device cannot operate without electronics. Okay, and Shanmugam, like honestly I can tell you, like last 1.5 years we were working on this device. Okay, and we selected the best component, we selected the best display, we looked at like at least 10 to 15 different display samples. We looked at multiple microprocessors, we looked at multiple 4G device modules, we looked at every single possible things, and then we finalized the component that we are putting on this device. So when we are putting this device, we always looked at we asked ourselves this question: if I have to make this device for 1 million customers, what are the components that I'm going to put? And with Shanmugam, we did that on every end. Okay, so whether it's a display, whether it's the 4G module, whether it's the microprocessor, everything is chosen by him, as well as I can assure you this is the best electronics that is available for these customers. Okay, the hardest part is like on one end you have the designer who wants to have sleek product, on the other end you have the electronics person who wants to have all the components placed together like on one device. Okay, I have on the other side, I want to have the logistics cost down, so I want to make sure like the whole volumetry of the weight does not go above 500 gram, because it helps us reduce like the cost by half. Okay, basically. So now the thing is like there need to be somebody who puts all this thing together. That's where Nitish comes into place. Okay, so
Building something beautiful requires lot of detailing and iterations. It's worth it because it's beautiful. Hi, I'm Nitish, product designer at Tohands. It's all about having the perfect product size that fits perfectly in shopkeeper's hand. Beauty lies in having the perfect components that fits together to make a solid product with a great build quality. Beauty is all about achieving a perfect color, material and finish. Beauty lies in combining ideas, components and user experience to build most acceptable yet advanced device for millions of shopkeepers.
So Nitish was the person who put together the design and the electronics in a single piece, which we have today, right now. Our device is as much as about the hardware than it is about the software. We like software elements always gets like it never get the limelight that it deserves. To build that software, Satyam, our co-founder, software co-founder, he take care of that part, and we would like to play a video that explains like how he designs the whole app.
Tohands app is built to provide shopkeepers एक रुपए का हिसाब on their fingertips. My name is Satyam Sahu and I am co-founder of Tohands. With the simplicity of the dashboard that provides user to track their daily, weekly, monthly sales and expenses, enabling the customers to download detailed report in PDF and Excel format with the powerful filters that allow users to get all the data. Seamless integration between app and Tohands Smart Calculators allows users to add inventory and sync data. While all of this happens with complete safety and security. Putting all this together with simple user experience for millions of shopkeepers.
Our app enables the shopkeeper, whatever the transaction that they are doing on the hardware, to sync with our app seamlessly. Okay, we enable not just that, we also enable now from the shopkeeper. For shopkeeper, for example, right now, in order to do billing, requires to add items. Okay, in the past, all the old billing machine requires you to input the items in the hardware itself, which is not very easy interface. Okay, now what we have done with V4, we have put the add inventory part in the app, so you can easily add the inventory on the app and then sync that data to the device. So it works in reverse manner also. So you send the data, the transaction data from the device to the app, and then you send the inventory data from the app to the device. Not just that, our app enables the shopkeeper to download a very detailed reports of their sales and expenses, like whatever kind of transaction that they are doing. Not just that, we also enable the shopkeeper to maintain ledger of each customer. What happens is this majority of the shopkeepers currently do not collect their customer data. Okay, they don't know who their customer is. With our V4 device, both on the hardware and the app side, we enabling the shopkeeper to record the customer information seamlessly. And not just that, the most important part is our app works independently also. So let's say a shopkeeper is having their mobile and the device, they can record data both on the mobile and on the device. Okay, they can create the bills on the app as well. Okay, so now that we have covered the app, let me bring you to the next and most important part of device. You don't have like Android or iOS that you can just put on a device. Okay, you have to build the whole OS yourself. Okay, so we legit had to build the complete OS on top of our device with the colorful display which we have on V4 on our GUI. But the way we have built the GUI is very simple. Okay, as always, like it might sound boring, but when you use the device, it is pretty interesting. Okay, what we have done is we have bring the interface that we are very comfortable on the mobile on a calculator. Okay, so now on our device you can have multiple calculation done simultaneously, and you have we don't need to press equal button, or you don't need to press back and forward button for the calculation. So you can see all the calculation that you're doing up to around 50 to 20 calculations, okay, based on numbers that you're inputting. Okay, and you don't need to even press the equal button, you will know the final amount whatever is there all the time. Okay, Next thing we have is we have a menu options in the device, which basically has, which gives the customer access to their complete control of their device. Okay, so you can connect, customize your tax rate, you can connect with the device, you can system update the device, you can customize, and you can do factory reset. I want to highlight like how the billing part works is very simple. Like basically what we have done is we have added this button called sales. Okay, so let's say you're a customer and you want to switch between your calculations to billing module. Okay, what you have to do is you have to just press the button sales. Okay, as soon as you press the button sales, it automatically goes to the billing module and you start inputting your item IDs and you start creating the bills. If you want to go back to the calculation options, you have to just press AC button. Not just that, what we have done is we have built a bunch of function buttons on top. Like in this area, we have a lot of function buttons which can enable the users to, like for example, if they want to print the bill, there is a button called GT print, which you can just press the GT print button and it will print the bill completely through the print if the printer is corrected. Second buttons that we have added is MU, which enables you to sync the data and also replay the audio that we have played last. As well as we have an option called shift, using which you can shift between multiple payment apps. So right now you can record your, let's say you're doing a UPI transaction, which app, PhonePe, Paytm, GPay, you can shift between those apps using the shift button. As well as we have MRC button, which enables the shopkeeper to see whatever the item that they have in the inventory. Okay, so with the MRC button, in a single press, they will get the list of complete items that they are having right now in their inventory. With a V4, but one of the most important aspect about our design is we wanted to keep the number of buttons as similar to a calculator as possible. So we did not increase that. We kept it as like 97% similar to a normal calculator, but we leverage each button to their maximum capacity. So now with a simple like 36 button layout, you can do like calculators. You can do calculation, but you can do also bookkeeping as well as the billing part of things in a simple and sleek device. And also one other thing that we are interestingly doing next on the app, which is we're going to be live in next 6 months, will be a thing called Tohands AI. So let's say, for example, we know the pattern that on each shop they're getting this many customers on this day. We can tell them this many items you can order. Okay, so we can help them with predictive analytics about their shop. So with this Tohands AI, our intention is to keep it very simple and enable the shopkeepers to reduce their wastages. Okay. So we are launching the Tohands version 4 at a price point which is very, very affordable for the shopkeeper. And just to prove that, if you go to buy a device which enables you to do bookkeeping, which is the smart calculator that we are currently selling, which is 3,000 rupees. Then if you go and buy a billing machine, that will be 30,000 rupees. And if you buy a point of sale device like of Pine Labs or other options, it will cost you 9,000 rupees plus subscriptions. And if you buy a sound box, it will cost you 2,000 rupees. If you combine all those costs, it will be 45,000 rupees as a shopkeeper. That is a huge amount. Okay, with our single device at 5,000 rupees, you can get all this in a single, very simple device that can fit any shopkeeper's environment. Okay.